official gifts that have been presented on behalf of President Macron of France to Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India. Let me in fact go across to Meghna Deka, my colleague, who will take us through the details of what those gifts actually are. Yes, Meghna.
Well, Siddharth, if I may say so, these are very beautiful, emotive gifts as well, which highlights the long-standing relationship that India and France has held. Look at this, first of them. This is a photograph of a Parisian lady presenting flowers to a Sikh battalion. This is during World War I in 1960. It's a beautiful memory for one to cherish about the kind of relationship India and France has. This woman there giving flowers to the Sikh regiment there. This was taken at Champs-Élysées during the military parade which happened on 14th of July 1916, and it depicts a passerby giving these flowers to the Sikh viceroy, which was coming officer from the Indian Expeditionary Force, which was deployed in France at that time. A beautiful memory for one to remember. Also, there is this beautiful chess men. This is a replica of an 11th century chess set which has been given. In fact, it is also called the Chaturaranga, the common ancestor of European and Chinese chess, which appeared in India from the 7th century. So these are beautiful gifts which really elucidate the point that this is also one of those gifts which has been made of a bronze filled PLA, which comprises of 16 different pieces available for the player at the start of the game. So this is the kind of gifts which have been given. Also, there's a book which has been given to the Prime Minister, that of Marcel Proust. In fact, it is a series of the novels which were written by him and published between 1913 and 27, recognized as one of the most important works of French literature around the time of the 20th century. So this is another gift that the Prime Minister will cherish as well. These are three very important gifts which really elucidate the point that India and France do not have just a robust diplomacy today, but have gone back to very deep historical and ideological ties as well.
Well, Meghna, it must be pertinent to note here that the Prime Minister did emphasize the contribution of Indian soldiers in the World War I campaign when he addressed members of the Indian diaspora yesterday. If you could, in fact, take us back to that beautiful photograph that you just showed us a short while ago. In fact, in his first visit to France as Prime Minister in the year 2015, he chose to highlight that specific moment, the contribution made by Indian soldiers in the First World War campaign in the defense of France. If you could just take our viewers through that specific photograph once again, Meghna.
Well, this is the photograph that we have on our screens here, Siddharth. I'm just going to give you a bit of a detail as to what this photograph is. This was taken at the Champs-Élysées during the military parade which happened on 14th of July 1960. It was from a photo reporter from the Meurice, I beg your pardon if I'm pronouncing it wrong, from the Meurice news agency. This original is located at the National Library of France. A very symbolic picture here. You have the Sikh regiment there parading down Champs-Élysées. Now this is also interesting because remember, the Prime Minister is going to be part of the Bastille Day parade as well in Paris. So look at this. This is from 2016 when our Sikh regiments very proudly marched out this area, and one of the locals there, a lady there, can be seen giving a flower to one of the person, the chief who was leading this Sikh regiment there. So these are beautiful images of history that one would cherish forever. And you're absolutely right. Even the Prime Minister had spoken about how Indians were part of the regiments which were sent across to France in World War I. In fact, interestingly, there is also a small memorial there which is there in Nice, a small little town in France, where you have this memorial and which specifically names, some of them are Indian names as well. It was interesting to know.